Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be taking us on how to make palazzo jumpsuit using slash and spread method. So let's jump right into it. So on my pattern paper, I'm going to mark out the crotch extension, but before then I would mark out the starting point. From here, I'll mark out the crotch extension. It is 4 inches. You mark out 4 inches. You rule a line across. Then after that, you place your tape minus ½ inch from the top for your sewing allowance. Then measure out the hip. The hip is 11 inches. Then I'll come down by 2 inches for the crotch line. I'll rule a line across for the hip and the crotch. So for the crotch line, you can use 2.5, 3 inches, 3.5 depending, but I prefer using 2 inches or 2.5. It's just okay for me. So here I'm labeling it my waist, crotch extension, hip and crotch line. Here I'm going to mark out my waistline. I'll divide my waist by 4. That's divided by 4, 7.5. I'll also place my tape on my hip line. Divide my hip by 4, 9.75. Then I'll connect my waist to my hip. I'll place my ruler and connect the dots. Here I'll place my tape on my crotch line and mark the same thing I imputed on my hip on my crotch line. Then connect. So here I'm trying to shape it out so that it won't have that pointy edge. So here I'm going to extend the crotch extension, extend the line there, then use my curve ruler to curve it out. Here I'll also impute my hip measurement at the baseline. Then I'll rule a line across like so and connect. After that, I'll divide the baseline by 2, divide the crotch line by 2, and the hip line also by 2. Then I'll rule a line across. Here I'm going to do the waist slope, come down by 1 inch. Use my curve ruler to connect because the waist is not straight. The tummy area is not straight. I'll go ahead to mark out the minus 1.5 inches for the back side, the back panel. Then rule a line across. Here I'm going to mark out 1.5 inches for the back side. The butt, you can choose not to, but I want mine to be very free, so I decided to add it. So you rule a line like so, then use your curve ruler to also curve it out. After all that, you trim out the trouser pattern. So this is what it looks like. After that, I'll slash it, but I won't have to slash it all through. I forgot to extend the line, so I had to do that. I placed it on my fabric and trimmed it out. This is my back panel first. Also note that the space in between the slashed part is dependent on the amount of fabric you're working with, so you can spread as much as you want if you're working with a bigger fabric. And also the pattern paper is not long enough for my length, so that's why it looks like that. So here I'll trim out the excess for the back for me to be able to cut out the front panel. At this point, everything just went off, so I had to use a pin to hold it down. This is what the front panel looks like. I'll just trim it out. Now, this is for my upper bodies. So I'm going to rule a line for the starting point. First of all, I'm going to mark out my neck width and neck depth. I'm going to be using 3 by 3. So I'll mark that out. Then rule their lines. I'll use my curve ruler to curve it out. So right here, I'm going to mark out my shoulder 7.5. I'm using a shoulder of 15 inches. So I'll come down by 1 inch here and connect the dots. Here, I'm going to come down by 7 inches for my armhole. This will serve as my chest line. I'll have to rule a line there to serve as my chest line. I'll rule a line across to serve as my armhole line. So here I'm going to divide my armhole into 2. That's 3.5, coming by half an inch. Then I'll use my curve ruler to curve everything out, connect the line. Here I'll have to extend my chest line. Here I'm going to mark out my bust length. That's 10 inches, my underbust 13 inches, and waistline 15, and I'll add 1 inches. I'll mark out the lines. After marking it out, I labeled it my chest, bust, underbust, and waistline. So here I'm going to impute my bust circumference 9.5. Although I made the mistake, I did 9 3/4, but I later corrected it. So I'll impute my waist circumference and connect. This is where I corrected it and reconnected. So here I'll add 1 inch for the sewing allowance. From here, I'll mark my nipple to nipple measurement. It's 3.5. Half of it is 3.5. I'll mark it from the bust down to the waist. Then from the bust, I'll come down by 1 inch. Then at the waistline, I'll mark 1/2 inches on both sides, then connect. As you know, this is a halter neck jumpsuit, so I'm going to use my curve ruler to cover out the sleeve just like so. After covering it out, your top is ready, your upper bodice is ready, so I'm going to trim it out. So at this point, I'm going to mark out the back neck. I'll come down by 1 inch or 1.5 inches, depending on what you want. Then I'll use my curve ruler and connect. At the waistline, I'm going to come up by 1/2 inch. It's just like a slant so that it won't look funny when I join it with the pants. So I'll go ahead and cut it off. So watch closely. This is how I'm going to place my back panel and trim. As you can see, I have allowance there for the zipper. And I'll cut off the neck, trim it off. Then I'll also trim off the front neck and place it, then trace it out. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, share, and comment. See you in the next video.